A very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome back to the second class of the online session 2020-2021. I hope all of you have gone through the chapter. We had just done some introductory portion of the chapter yesterday, isn't it? Like the oysters experiment, which you had already done in your junior classes. What is a magnetic field? What are the field lines? How the magnetic compass shows its deflection when current passes through a conductor? If you reverse the direction of the current, what happens to the direction of the needle of the magnetic compass? It also shows deflection. Understood? That means the direction of the current changes, the deflection of the magnetic needle also changes. We had also seen what happens to the magnetic field lines when current passes through a straight conductor, isn't it? What happens to the magnetic field lines with the distance? We had also studied about Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. Yes. So I hope all these things are clear to you by now. So let us continue with the next portion of the chapter of magnetic effects of electric current. So we will start with the magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop. I hope all of you can see this diagram that I have already drawn here. So yesterday I had taught you all that what happens when current flows through a straight conductor, isn't it? Now we have changed the structure of the conductor and think that we have bent the straight conductor in the form of a circular loop. I hope you can see the form of the circular loop. And when current flows through this circular loop, you can also see the variation, the different magnetic field lines that I have already drawn in this diagram, isn't it? So how does it looks like? You can see I have written over here the two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. And you can see the magnetic field lines are in the form of circles. Okay, so the magnetic field lines are in the form of concentric or circular, circles over here. And as the distance, as you are moving away from the loop, these field lines are also increasing. They are also becoming larger. And as you come to the center of this loop, you can see the field lines are becoming almost straight. So this is how the magnetic field lines will look like at every point on this conductor, which is circular in shape. Alright? So for a straight loop carrying current, or a straight conductor carrying current, the magnetic field lines, we have already studied that we had seen that with distance, the magnetic field lines are inversely related. Inversely means if you move away from the conductor, that means the magnetic field lines also starts moving away. And we had seen that yesterday, if the magnetic field lines are closer to each other, the magnetic effect of the current is also more. So in this case, if the magnetic field lines are moving away from each other, that means what happens? We know that the magnetism also decreases, isn't it? If the magnetic field lines are closer to each other, the magnetic effect, the magnetism is much more stronger at those points. Okay. Now imagine that we have a circular loop, but this loop only has many turns like this. Instead of a single loop, it has many turns. And when it has many turns, imagine current flows through this circular loop having n turns. N means any number of turns. And each turn will be carrying current, supposing. Each turn is carrying current. So you can imagine each loop, each turn of this coil will have magnetic field lines, and all together the magnetic field lines will add up. So if they add up, you can imagine the magnetic effect also becomes much more stronger if you increase the number of turns in case of a circular loop. If you increase the number of turns, your magnetic effect also increases because the magnetic field lines gets added up. Okay. So as a result, if you increase the current, it is in a way you can say the amount, the effect of current is also increasing. Okay. Now you can easily, in this case, you can find out the direction of the magnetic field lines also. Yes, by using again Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. I hope you remember this rule. The thumb shows the direction of the current, and these 4 fingers that you are seeing represents the direction of the magnetic field lines. Okay, and this Maxwell's right hand thumb rule is also known as Maxwell's corkscrew rule. Okay, it is all the same thing. Just instead of using this hand, they are using a corkscrew. Alright, so this is about the magnetic field due to a current through a circular loop. Is that clear, children? Okay, so after this, let us move on with the next part of this chapter, magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. And I am sure all of you know what is a solenoid. You had already done it in class 8, probably in class 7 also. So you should be knowing about what is a solenoid. So this is just a very basic concept. So let us again recap. What is a solenoid? This is a solenoid. What is it? A coil of insulated copper wire. A coil of insulated copper wire. Okay. This is carrying current, is known as a solenoid. So if I draw the structure of a solenoid, it looks like this. The positive terminal, the negative terminal. And you can see this is just a coil of wire. Coil of insulated copper wire carrying current. Just a coil. So this structure is known as a solenoid. Alright. So here I have drawn a solenoid. I have attached the solenoid with a battery consisting of a positive terminal and a negative terminal and a switch or a key. And by convention, we know that current flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal. So this is how the current is flowing. Okay. This solenoid, since it is a conductor, it is made up of copper, it's a conductor, and we know when current flows through a conductor, it behaves like a magnet. So this solenoid will also behave like a magnet. So if it behaves like a magnet, just like a bar magnet, it will have its magnetic north pole as well as the south pole. Okay, now what we have to do next is to see what kind of magnetic field lines will be there. I mean, what will be the structure of the magnetic field lines in case of a current carrying, solenoid. What will be the structure? This is how it will look like. All of you have a look once. I hope you all can see it, the structure. I'm just drawing it roughly. Okay, so it will, just like in case of a bar magnet, we have seen that, the magnetic field lines, they emerge from the north pole and they merge into the south pole. So similar thing we are doing over here also. Same thing. And what about the center? The center will be just this. Okay, in the center you can see they are just parallel to each other. The magnetic field lines at the center of the solenoid are parallel to each other. That means at every point inside the solenoid, the magnetic effect is actually the same. Inside the solenoid, at every point, the magnetic field lines, they remain the same. They are parallel to each other. And look outside, they are again in the form of this rings. That means they emerge from the north pole, they merge into the south pole. Isn't it similar to what happens in case of a bar magnet we had seen yesterday? It is almost and exactly you can say the same. Okay, you can relate it. So this is the structure of a solenoid and what happens when current flows through this solenoid. This is how the magnetic field lines are. Okay. Now what we will do, we can increase the strength of a solenoid, we know, just by passing a soft iron core through the solenoid. If instead of this structure, just have a look, instead of this structure, just the coil of wire, instead of this, inside if you pass a piece of soft iron, this arrangement is known as an electromagnet. Remember this arrangement, that means a coil of insulated copper wire carrying current wound around a piece of soft iron is known as an electromagnet. Okay, and you know the magnetism of the electromagnet is much stronger than a solenoid. Okay, so this is your electromagnet. So moving on with the next topic of the chapter, force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. So all of you can see this activity. Okay, you will find this activity given in your NCERT book also. Okay, so now in this activity we are going to study about a new thing, that is the force. So there was a scientist, Andrea Ampere. He was the one to suggest that if you keep a magnet in somewhere in the vicinity of a conductor, this magnet should also exert some kind of equal and opposite force on the conductor, and the conductor also should show some kind of displacement. Okay, so this was an activity that was done to see what force is, whether the force is acting or not. So you can see there is, you know, a wire which is connected with an aluminium rod, and this aluminium rod is a conductor, and we know when current flows through a conductor, it produces a magnetic effect. Okay, so current is flowing from B to A, and in the vicinity, vicinity of this rod, we have kept a horseshoe magnet having the two poles, North Pole and South Pole, and there is a battery, okay, and there is a switch or a key, and by convention again we know that current flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal. So here you can see current is flowing in this direction. So it's a closed circuit, you can see, and the direction of the current is exactly from the positive right hand side to the left hand side. So now what was the observation? When current is flowing from B to A, okay, from B to A, it was seen that there was a displacement of the rod. What kind of displacement? There was a displacement towards the left side. That means this side B, this was vertically above the South Pole, and this side A was vertically below the North Pole. So displacement was towards the left. Okay, and when the direction of the current was reversed, supposing from A to B now, okay, just by reversing the direction of this current from here, if you change the terminals, it will get reversed. So if you reverse the direction of the current, the displacement of this aluminium rod will be towards the right, just the opposite. Right means the B side will be below the South Pole and A will be above the North Pole. So why was this displacement there? Okay, so that was because of some kind of force due to this magnet. Okay, so the direction of the force was seen, the magnitude or this displacement was rather maximum when the current, the direction of the current and the direction of the magnetic field was perpendicular, or they both were at right angles to each other. Once more I am repeating, it was seen that the displacement of the rod, the conductor, was maximum when the direction of current and the direction of the magnetic field was at right angles to each other. And now we have a new rule which is known as Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule will give you the direction of the force. Okay, so here we are going to take in account of three things. One is the magnetic field, another is the current, and the third is the direction of the force. So your left hand rule will be just like this. This is how you are going to place. your three fingers, you can see the forefinger, your thumb and your middle finger, all of them, all three are at right angles, they're mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, this forefinger represents the direction of the magnetic field, the middle finger shows the direction of the current, and the thumb shows the direction of the force. And when these three, both of them, especially the magnetic field and the middle finger, that is your direction of current, when both of them are perpendicular to each other, this force will be maximum. The displacement of the conductor will be maximum. Or you can say the magnitude of force will be maximum. Magnitude means amount of force. This is known as Fleming's left-hand rule. You can just place it as I have done. Please try it along with me, okay? Fleming's left-hand rule. Once again, I am repeating Fleming's left-hand rule. With this three fingers, you will take into consideration your thumb, forefinger and your middle finger. Your thumb represents the direction of force, your forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, and your middle finger represents the direction of current. So the displacement or the force will be maximum. The displacement of the rod will be maximum, or the force, the magnitude of force will be maximum when this field, magnetic field and the current, they are mutually perpendicular, or they are perpendicular to each other, or they are at right angles, that is 90 degrees. Okay, so I can show it to you here on the board. It is going to be like this, your Fleming's left-hand rule. Okay, so this is actually your magnetic field. This is your direction of current, and this is the force exerted. Okay, so I have given in your worksheet, you will find there are some questions related to Fleming's left-hand rule also. So you are going to do it by placing your fingers just the way I have told you, like this. Okay, so direction of current, magnetic field, place it properly and you can easily find out the direction of the force exerted. Okay, so do it and you send it to us, you mail it to us. Okay, and any queries or anything also you can mail it to us. Kindly go through your books properly, okay, and get your concepts clear. So that much for today. All of you study, and the rest of the portion we will be covering in the next class. Like this, rules are applied, you know, in different kind of instruments or devices like electric motor, electric generator, loudspeakers, all these things. Okay, so we will be doing it in our next classes. Till then, all of you study and have a good day. Thank you.